We have some valuable coins for you, so don't spend one of them. So watch our complete video and find your treasure. This coin could make you rich overnight. Number 1. Today, we have something truly exciting to talk about, a coin that you might overlook at first glance but could be worth a small fortune. Yes, you guessed it, we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1972. This seemingly modest coin has a fascinating story and, in certain cases, could fetch an incredible price on the market. Stay with us as we explore its history, design, rarity, and what makes it so valuable today. You'll be amazed by what this tiny piece of American history could be worth. Let's start by going back in time to 1972. The world was in the midst of major social and political changes, and America was no exception. It was the year of the Apollo 16 space mission, the Vietnam War was still ongoing, and the Watergate scandal was beginning to make waves. In the world of numismatics, the 1972 5-cent coin was part of a regular series of coins minted by the United States Mint, and it was no different from the many other 5-cent coins in circulation at the time. However, there's more to this coin than just being a regular issue of its time. The 1972 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel, carries the legacy of one of the founding fathers of America, Thomas Jefferson. The obverse side features a well-known portrait of Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag, and the reverse depicts Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. These symbols have remained on the coin for decades, but what really makes the 1972 version stand out is its unique characteristics that have captivated collectors over time. To understand the value of this coin, we need to look at its rarity and the specific conditions that can make it truly valuable. While the 1972 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, the key to its high value lies in the condition and a few specific features that make some coins rarer than others. Over the years, most of these coins were used in everyday transactions and were subject to wear and tear. But when you find a 1972 5-cent coin in excellent, uncirculated condition, you're looking at something special. Coins that have been carefully preserved, with no noticeable scratches, discoloration, or damage, are much rarer than you might think. But there's another reason why the 1972 5-cent coin stands out among its peers, the 1972 double die obverse variety. This rare error, which occurs when the coin's die is misaligned during the minting process, results in a striking double image on the coin's obverse. This error can be seen on the date and the letters of Liberty, giving the coin an interesting, almost ghostly appearance. Coins with this error are much harder to come by, and they are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in minting errors. Now, you may be wondering, what does this mean for the value of the 1972 5-cent coin? Well, here's where it gets exciting. While most 1972 5-cent coins are worth only a few cents in today's market, those in mint condition or those with the double die error can fetch a much higher price. If you're lucky enough to find a 1972 double die obverse nickel in pristine condition, you could be holding a coin that is worth anywhere from $48,000 to $52,000. That's right, this humble 5-cent coin, which most people might dismiss as just pocket change, could be worth more than many people's entire savings. So, how do you know if your 1972 5-cent coin could be worth such a significant amount? First, take a close look at the date and the inscriptions on the obverse. If you notice a doubling of the numbers or letters, especially around Liberty or the date 1972, you might have a double die error on your hands. Make sure to examine the coin carefully, and if the details are clear, you may have just discovered a treasure. It's important to note that the value of the 1972 5-cent coin can vary depending on its condition, rarity, and the presence of any unique features. Coins that have been professionally graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, (NGC), or the Professional Coin Grading Service, (PCGS), tend to fetch higher prices on the market. So, if you think you found something special, it's always a good idea to have your coin professionally evaluated and graded. In the world of coin collecting, finding a valuable piece like the 1972 double die obverse nickel is an incredible discovery. Coins like these are often passed down through generations, traded among collectors, or sold in auctions for impressive sums. With the right knowledge and a keen eye, you could be holding a hidden gem in your very own collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin reminds us that sometimes the most unassuming objects can hold great value. The 1972 5-cent coin from the United States, in its rarest forms, is a perfect example of how a small, simple coin can be worth far more than meets the eye. Number 2, we have a fascinating story for you that revolves around a seemingly ordinary coin, yet one that could be hiding an impressive amount of value. Yes, we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1973, commonly known as the 1973 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this may seem like just another regular coin from the mid-70s, but if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that it could be worth far more than you might expect. Let's take a step back and first understand the history of the 5-cent coin. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of American currency since 1938, and it has seen many variations over the decades. However, the 1973 version is particularly interesting, as it was struck during a time when the U.S. economy was going through some changes. The country was emerging from the economic turbulence of the late 60s and early 70s, which included inflation and a volatile job market. Coins from this period carry a unique significance, as they reflect a time of transition in both the economy and in American culture. And now, let's take a closer look at the design of this coin. On the obverse side, you'll see the classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. Jefferson's image has remained a staple of the nickel since its introduction, and this particular coin from 1973 is no exception. But what makes it more intriguing is the reverse side. Here, you'll find an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, a symbol of the man's legacy as a statesman and architect. The details in this design are always striking, but what collectors are really interested in today are the subtle aspects of the coin that could determine its value. Now, let's talk about why the 1973 Jefferson nickel could be worth much more than its face value. For most people, the 5-cent coin from this year is not something they think twice about. But the value of a coin isn't just determined by its age, it's also affected by its condition, rarity, and any unique features it may possess. When it comes to the 1973 Jefferson nickel, one of the key factors that can make it valuable is its condition. Coins that have been well preserved over the years, free from heavy wear and damage, are significantly more valuable than those that have been in circulation for decades. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch higher prices at auction. A coin that's free from nicks, scratches, or discoloration is seen as a rare gem in the world of coin collecting. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1973 Jefferson nickel in mint condition, you could have something very special on your hands. But there's another factor that can drastically increase the coin's worth: error coins. These are coins that were mistakenly minted with design flaws or inconsistencies during production. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are one of a kind and represent a small slice of history. In the case of the 1973 Jefferson nickel, some error versions were released with slight misprints, unusual markings, or even incorrect details. If you happen to find a 1973 nickel with an error, especially one that's been well preserved, you may have just stumbled upon a true treasure. Beyond condition and errors, there's also the element of rarity. While the 1973 Jefferson nickel was minted in large quantities, only a small percentage of these coins remain in excellent condition. Over the years, many have been lost, damaged, or worn down to the point where they no longer hold any significant value. That's why finding one in mint state, whether it's a regular version or an error coin, can be such a lucky find for collectors. So, how much could this 1973 Jefferson nickel actually be worth? If you have one in uncirculated condition, or if you've got an error version in pristine state, you could be looking at a value of $42,000 to $45,000. That's right, $42,000 to $45,000 for a single coin that's just a little over 50 years old. It's hard to believe that a coin worth just 5 cents could turn into such a valuable collector's item, but this is a great reminder of how important it is to pay attention to the condition, rarity, and potential errors of the coins we encounter. So, if you've got a collection of old coins lying around, or if you happen to come across a 1973 Jefferson nickel, take a close look at its condition. It could be worth much more than you think. And if you happen to have a rare error coin in perfect condition, you might just have a small fortune in your hands. Number 3, we're going to take a closer look at a coin that might be hiding in your pocket or at the bottom of an old jar of change, the 1988 United States 5-cent coin. You might think this is just another nickel, but trust me, this one is much more than meets the eye. Stick around until the end, because we're about to reveal why this 5-cent coin could be worth thousands of dollars. The 1988 5-cent coin, or nickel, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. While it's easy to overlook the small denomination, it holds an interesting story. This coin was issued as part of the ongoing production of the Jefferson nickel series, which has been in circulation since 1938. But here's where things get interesting. Despite being a common coin used in everyday transactions, there's a specific version of the 1988 nickel that has become highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's take a step back and talk about the design of this nickel. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This design has been in place since the 1938 nickel, created by artist Felix Schlag. Jefferson's face is framed by the words Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the year of minting, which in this case is 1988. On the reverse side, we see a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is a fitting tribute to the man himself, who was not only a founding father but also an architect and planner. But the value of a coin like this doesn't just come from its design, it's the details that matter. Many 1988 nickels were minted, and in general, they don't hold any extraordinary value. However, the key factor that makes some of these coins so rare and valuable comes down to the condition and certain minting errors. Over time, coins that have been in circulation for decades tend to get damaged, scratches, dings, and wear and tear can significantly decrease their value. But if you happen to find one of these coins in near perfect, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at something much more valuable than just 5 cents. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1988 nickel is the existence of a rare minting error. A small number of these coins were struck with a misaligned die, which means that the images on the coin are slightly off-center. This small but noticeable flaw can make a huge difference in the coin's value. If you happen to come across a 1988 5-cent coin with this misalignment, you could have something truly special on your hands. Coins with minting errors or those in pristine condition tend to be highly valued in the numismatic market. Collectors love to find unique pieces that stand out from the regular, everyday coins. While most 1988 nickels are worth only their face value of 5 cents, those with a rare die error, or those in flawless, uncirculated condition, can fetch a much higher price. So, what kind of price are we talking about? Here's the exciting part. A 1988 United States 5-cent coin in mint condition or with a rare error can be worth an impressive $38,000 to $40,000. That's right, the small and seemingly ordinary coin could end up being worth thousands of dollars, all because of its rarity and condition. Now, you might be wondering how to check if you have one of these valuable coins. First, take a good look at your nickel. Is it in excellent condition? If it's been well preserved, with no scratches, scuffs, or discoloration, it might be worth getting it appraised. Next, look for any minting errors. Is the design off-center? Does the image look unusual in any way? If so, you could be holding a rare error coin. The key here is to check carefully and, if in doubt, have it examined by a professional numismatist. Finding a coin like this can feel like a treasure hunt, but the payoff can be huge. If you've got a 1988 5-cent coin tucked away in your collection or hidden among your spare change, now might be the perfect time to take another look at it. And if you do find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, you could be in for a very pleasant surprise. Before we wrap up, remember that coin collecting is not just about finding coins with high monetary value, it's also about appreciating the history and craftsmanship behind these tiny pieces of metal. Whether your collection is worth hundreds or just a few dollars, each coin tells a story, and that's what makes collecting so fascinating. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has inspired you to dig through your coin jar and see what treasures might be hidden inside. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Happy collecting, and who knows, your next rare find could be worth thousands.